People are barely familiar with each other, and they rarely help one another. Unfortunately, even if someone once provided invaluable assistance to another person, it is quickly forgotten. Therefore, one cannot expect the same good deed in return. However, even in the wild, there are animals from which humans could learn how to behave with others. For example, the hero of this story could be a good teacher. A young man went to earn money in a village where the residents were engaged in logging. In this place, lumberjacks were always well paid because the work was physically demanding and required constant concentration. The guy arrived in the village with his wife. The girl couldn't find a job here, so she simply managed the household while her husband earned money. On weekends, the young man went hunting, primarily shooting small birds that inhabited these forests. To avoid searching for the downed game himself, the man got a hunting dog. The puppy lived in the yard in a specially designated kennel. One day, the owners noticed that their pet was constantly asking for food and was never satisfied. They started giving him more food, but the puppy still demanded more. One day, while her husband was at work, the wife managed to solve this mystery. She put food in the puppy's bowl and began to observe from the window what would happen next. As soon as the dog was about to eat, a huge bird landed on its kennel. It was a black crow. The unfamiliar guest began to caw as if it was going to tease the puppy. The dog tried to reach it, but it couldn't jump to the roof. The cunning bird flew to the fence and continued to tease from there. Since he wasn't yet on a leash, the puppy rushed at the crow. The bird flew away again but headed towards the forest. The dog chased after it. When the puppy ran far enough away from home, the crow quickly returned and began to peck at the food in its bowl. By the time the dog realized it had been tricked and ran back, the bowl was already empty. The brazen crow had eaten all the puppy's food. In the evening, the girl told her husband what had happened. She even demonstrated the mystery of the missing food by placing food in the puppy's bowl again. The crow flew back and tricked the unsuspecting pet once more. It was decided to feed the dog at home so that the crow wouldn't be so brazen. For the bird, the young man made a special feeder. Due to their resourcefulness, winter arrived in these parts a few months later, bringing heavy snowfall. The constant precipitation buried all the roads, making it impossible to reach the store. Since the young man and his girlfriend were city folks, they were unprepared for the harsh frost. Because of this, soon there were almost no food supplies left in the house. The young man took his gun and went to the forest to hunt for some birds. After several hours of waiting, he saw a flock of partridges. The man shot several times, but it seemed he hadn't hit anything. The birds scattered in different directions. No one else came his way that day. When it got dark, he had to return home empty-handed. Entering the room, he saw his smiling wife. She was in an apron and was already cooking. It turned out that while her husband was hunting, the girl heard barking outside. She went outside and saw a partridge near the kennel. Without thinking long, she took it and returned home. After a while, the story repeated itself. Raising her eyes, the hostess noticed that same cunning crow on the fence. The bird cawed several times and flew off into the forest. The crow understood that the people had nothing to eat, and he shared his tasty catch with his new friends. Moreover, he owed a debt to the dog from which he often stole food. This story proves that birds can be very loyal friends in difficult times. They are ready to help those who were kind to them and shared their piece of bread. Despite the fact that in times of plenty, the crow stole food from the dog, in hard days, he did the opposite. The crow brought food that was so necessary for the puppy and its owners.